Hey, how do you do? It's another Sonic game. It's another Sonic stream. It's another Sonic. Because Sonic is everything that matters in this world. I hope you don't mind my shitty thumbnail. I was in a bit of a hurry. So you better come to my stream and hurry. I'm just stalling a little bit because I'm posting my link. Sonic Riders, Zero Gravity, Grind. Man, that is an awful thumbnail, but hey, what can you do? Put effort into it? Who do I look like? Hey, 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 hey. Who do I look like? Hey, 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 hey. Okay, sorry about that. I was just testing my audio. Okay, so let's just play some Sonic. Oh, shut up, me. Let's just play some Sonic Riders. I've already done all of the missions, so you won't see me raging like last time. I mean, the one that I raged at was probably the worst one of the bunch. So you didn't miss much. Just a lot of grinding, I guess. But there's oh, sorry about that. I overate. My mother bought 2 rotisserie chickens, and we ate a lot of it. Not the whole thing, but a lot of it. So now I'm going to showcase all of my unlocks. The important things that I have unlocked so far would be Supersonic and some other characters, which are special characters from another Sega games. I will be showing Supersonic later, but I just want to play some World Grand Prix. This is how you get the most rings in the game. I mean, at least according to my method. Maybe with the gambler you get more rings, but... And we are trying to get rings because we want to buy all the gear. We don't get anything if we buy all the gear, but I just like collecting it all. Okay, so here are the new characters. We got these by clearing the Babylon story mode, and now because we cleared all the missions we get these characters: Knights from Nights into Dreams, Amigo from Samba de Amigo, and Billy Hatcher from Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. I've played 2 of these. I've never played Billy Hatcher, but I've seen some gameplay of it. Also, when it comes to gear, I bought this one. It's called Legend. It's pretty funny because all it does is give you a better rank on your tricks. So if, let's say, you made a shitty jump, it'll up your rank 2 times. So instead of a C, you'll get an A, or maybe even an S. So it just makes tricks irrelevant. It's a pretty bad board, but I was curious what it did. We have the Rail Linker, which is just like a standard speedster skates. And we have the Wanted ones. These are the ones that I'm gonna be using. It basically allows us to grind on rails, and which means we can take some shortcuts. And the ring cap up, it's so we can grind more rings. Apparently we get a ton more rings if we get to the end of the stage without taking damage. Oh. So we're gonna be trying to not take damage and take as many rings as we can. And this is from another Sega game called Hang On, but it's also the best power type gear. It's the fastest, it has a really good gravity meter and all of that. It can be a little annoying because it changes the background music, so you're stuck with the same background music unless you get 100 rings and then you get a second song. So it's a little strange. Well, we're going to display it later. For now, I'm just gonna choose Knight because Knight is my favorite character to choose here. Knight doesn't even make any sounds, so it might be a little boring, but I really like the body language and the design. So we're gonna choose Knight. And we're going to be using the wanted skates because we want to grind as many rings as we can. Knights is usually a flying type character. Oh, I shouldn't have skipped the animations. I'm just so used to it. Perfect start. Yeah, so Knights is basically a flying type character because in the games that Knight is in, they usually fly. But I mean, if we choose Speedster gear, we can use the Speedster shortcuts, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so as you may have noticed, I got 50 rings and I was able to up my ring capacity. So now when I get 100, I can do it again to get 250 max capacity. So I'll just try to get 250 rings on this stage. I mean, that's the main goal for all of the stages when you're using this type of gear, but it is kind of difficult to do. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice shortcuts for more rings, and sometimes you gotta sacrifice rings for more speed because sometimes they catch up and we don't want that because we want to be in first place. If you get in first place in the World Cup, you get 500 rings. So we don't want to compromise that. It's a little bit of a balancing game. I wouldn't call these skates the ultimate speedster gear, but it's curious because when it comes to speedster characters, I think they have a lot of really good shortcuts, but when it comes to gear, not so much. I mean, I usually use skates. They feel faster, but I don't know, sometimes they catch up to me. When it comes to flying characters, probably most of the gears are gonna be okay for grinding, not for grinding, for getting the most amount of rings. Not of shortcuts, not rings, sorry. So as you can see, I barely was able to get 112. So we still made a profit, but it would have been better if I didn't upgrade the second time, and if I had made 150 rings, because we didn't really get that much of a profit. Yeah, but what I was saying about the flying type characters, it's much better if you use the Angel and Devil gear. You get that when you complete the hero story. So it's probably the more accessible one if you just want to play competitively. But that's just my opinion. They might be better gear ahead. And for the power type characters, you just use the bicycle that I showed you from Hang On. I don't know, there may be better options, but it's not like this is a very competitive game. Oh, this is a good one. Come on, come on. So I didn't get the shortcut because if I don't get it, there are way more rings. So I'm trying to prioritize getting rings over getting speed. But I'm gonna get this one because they are getting a bit of a head start on me. So sometimes it's worth it. Right now I decided to play because both my mother and my brother are asleep. Since we ate a ton of chicken, I mean all of us did, they just kinda fell asleep after digesting. But I don't like sleeping during the afternoon. I mean, I don't like sleeping before nighttime because otherwise I'll stay up all night. And I'm trying to keep a somewhat regular sleep schedule. So they can do that, but me personally, I'll pass. So I just decided to do something by myself, and that is streaming Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. I was looking for other games to play while I wait for my Splatoon 3 to come. I'm not gonna be streaming that because I don't have an Elgato or anything like that. But yeah, I'm just waiting to get newer games. And in the meantime, I wanted to stream Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. But the freaking controls, man. I mean, I used to be really good at that game. Sorry, I keep burping. On the PlayStation 2 edition. But the controls were so ingrained into me that when I tried to play with the Gamecube controller, I just couldn't do it. And I tried to rearrange the button mapping, and the game wouldn't let me. I would have to go into the emulators control layout and specifically program it like I used to play it on the PS2, and that just seemed like a lot of hassle. I'm pretty good with not playing that. I'd rather look for something different on the GameCube or the Wii, or maybe even downloading a PlayStation 2 emulator and trying it from there. But I just didn't want to relearn the controllers. I'm just gonna go down here and try to get as many rings as I can. Almost 250. So yeah, no Dragon Ball for now. There are a couple of games on the GameCube that I wanted to try for the first time because I couldn't play them back when I bought a GameCube. I wanted to play F-Zero GX. I never got to play it, and a lot of people recommend it. It's a pretty intense game. And I also wanted to play Kirby's Air Ride. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks very fun to play once you get a hold of the controller. I mean, not of the controller, the controls. I would have to think about... I'm just gonna take the down path because there are more rings there. So I purposely made a shitty jump. See, I got 20 just from that item box. Oh, I was so distracted that I didn't update my gear. Yeah, I'm just gonna take these rings instead of going fast. Yeah, that's kind of risky. Yeah, what I was saying, I used to play a lot on the Wii, but not as much as other people. So I'm not sure what kind of games I would like to stream on the Wii. Oh, that just slowed me down. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, there were the classic ones that I like to play, like Super Smash Brothers Brawl and Rhythmic Heaven Fever. But I don't think those are the kind of games that I wanna stream here, especially since I'm playing with a knockoff controller instead of a Wiimote. And I wouldn't want to play Brawl anyways because, I mean, it just seems so outdated now. I usually don't have a problem with playing outdated games or retro games or whatever you want to call them, because I really appreciate them for the time. I really like retro gaming. I mean, this is, I don't know if this is considered retro, but I mean like NES, Super NES, Neo Geo games, all of that. PlayStation 1. If we are talking about like DOS games or what was that? Intellivision or Atari games, I usually don't play those. Not because I hate them or anything, it's just I don't run into them. But I would like to try them anyways. So yeah, retro gaming is not a problem for me. But when it comes to Brawl, I mean, Ultimate just did so much better with their with the controls and the game balancing. So I don't know, it feels like I'm playing a broken game. Or a product of its time and not in the best of way. Man, we almost got to 150 this time. Another game that people probably expect me to stream would be Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. But I don't know if I want to play those on stream. Mainly because, well, I'm not the best at them. It will be pretty fun to do like a Chao Garden stream. I would be pretty okay with that. But when it comes to the mainline games, I don't know. I'm already having a hard time trying to pick up Shadow the Hedgehog back where we left it. I mean, when we get to intense gaming, and I know it's kind of weird that we're calling Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog intense gaming, but I mean, you gotta focus on these games, otherwise the controls and the stages, the level design will kill you. So yeah, you gotta... It takes a lot out of me. I wanna finish Shadow at least, but it made me realize that I don't want to do Sonic Adventure 1 or 2. But I really wouldn't mind doing like a one-off stream of Sonic Adventure 2 after I replayed it. Just showing off some stages that I like, or the Chao Garden. Trying to do some time limits or something like that. But not the whole story with the stages that mess with you, or looking at all of the cutscenes, that's pretty tiring. I don't know, a lot of other people do it too, so you can just watch them. It's one of the most popular Sonic games, if not the most popular one. If I were to stream another Sonic game, it would be something a little bit more avant-garde, like Sonic and the Black Knight. That game gets a lot of hate, but it's one of my favorite Sonic games. It's silly in the best of ways, and it's not that hard to control like people say it is. If you think that game is hard to control, you haven't played Sonic and the Seven Rings. Now that is a shitty game. I never would want to play that, ever. Not even for fun, not even for a joke. It's a really bad game. It controls like absolute butt cheeks. I already tried playing Sonic the Fighters. I wanted to show more of Sonic the Fighters, but it doesn't run very well. And I could go into the graphics and everything for the emulator, but I don't want to mess anything up. I mean, this is running pretty okay, and Shadow the Hedgehog and all of the other games that we have played have run pretty okay, so I don't want to ruin it. So yeah, this is the best stage for ring grinding. The next one, Gigan Rocks, is also a pretty good one, but mostly because it has a 100 ring capsule that is pretty easy to get. Hopefully I won't die trying to get it, now that I said that. I'm just gonna go in the middle because I feel there are more rings that way. I mean, all the other motherfuckers are taking them from me, but so a little bit of my personal day, I would say, has been I was getting some formal clothes, some formal attire, because I haven't. Whoa! I didn't expect to get this here, but I could have used it before. Yeah, I was getting formal clothes, and that's always a hassle for me because I have a difficult size, because I'm a pretty big guy, and I don't mean just like thick as in fat, but I'm also tall as fuck for my country's standard. So it's a very hard thing to... Wait, how do I... Okay. It's a very hard, I don't know, dimensions to get right. Because everybody in my country is either overweight, small, or small and overweight. But almost anybody... But there are barely any people that are both very tall and overweight. So it's hard to get clothes for me. I mean, my mom doesn't have that trouble, even though she's maybe just as thick as me. But she's very short, so she has a bit of trouble trying to get clothes, but nowhere near as me. Getting clothes for me is such a freaking hassle. And I really hate formal wear. I think it's very restrictive, and it really doesn't apply to my style. Yeah, it was a bitch. I really wasn't enjoying my time. So now I just want to decompress with some Sonic while my family is asleep. Oh, come on. Ah. I think we might lose this one. I'm gonna get the grinding shortcut. Maybe that'll be enough. I mean, Sonic was ahead of me and he's a speedster type, so maybe he took the shortcut too. Yeah, I think we lost this one. Yeah. God damn it, this sucks. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't think it affects our ring grinding. But I like to get first place on all of the races. You might wonder, like, what is the challenge of this game if you are getting first place almost consistently? I think the real challenge of this game is trying to get first place with shitty gear, because the ones that I'm using right now, I mean, it's the better of the two options when it comes to ring grinding. Because it can take a speedster type shortcuts, but the base stats are pretty low. I mean, it is a pretty slow gear, so that's why some of the enemies pass me so fast, or so easily I should say. Careful. Okay. Let's try to get that 100. There's another 100 capsule here. But this one is kind of tricky to get. Oh my god, stop, stop, stop. No! I messed it up. I wasted it. Everything is ruined. But hey, we're gonna get the 500 from winning the cup, so... It's pretty funny that I have a very distinct physique compared to most people in my country. I think it's because of my grandpa. Because I think my grandpa had some Spaniard blood. I mean, from somebody from Spain. So they were all tall and, well, they had white skin. So I inherited that from him. The color of my skin and my height. But from my dad's side, all of his family was pretty short and they had darker skin. And this is kind of weird to say because, well, I'm starting to talk like my appearance or whatever, and I don't know. But they had kind of lengthy eyes, and this is kind of weird to say. It's not because they were Asian or anything like that, but they were from indigenous descent. So even though I'm pretty tall and I have white skin and like silky hair, I still have like pretty slanty eyes, and that's pretty strange. It's a pretty strange combination. Usually I look pretty distinct, like I stand out between crowds, which is something that I don't really like too much because I mean, I appreciate feeling unique or whatever, but I really like to hang on the down low. I don't like to get noticed, I like to just blend in. And it's kind of hard to do when, well, you look so different from everybody else. Not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm just saying it's something that happens. Man, we didn't get 250, but that's because we fell. Let's choose um, Amigo this time, just to vary it up. It's kind of strange because I like my privacy, so I probably shouldn't discuss how I look or whatever. Sorry about the burps. But I mean, realistically, I think privacy on the internet is something that it's extremely hard to keep. Like, no matter how bad you want to keep your identity, there's always somebody out there that can get it. So I'm just kind of like, what's the point? From my old-timey Let's Players to now VTubers, I mean, people try to be discreet about their identities, their past, their real names, all of that, and they just get doxxed so easily because the internet truly never forgets. And I kind of appreciate that about the internet, but it's most definitely uh, a double-edged sword. So I'm just kind of keeping it real. I'm not gonna try too hard on something that possibly is like fighting against gravity. Like, if someone truly wanted to know who I am or whatever, they could probably look into it. I'm not sure how, but I've seen people pull out the impossible before. I don't know. I'm not condemning, by the way, doxing people or digging into their past or anything like that. But realistically, I'm just saying it can happen to you and could probably happen if somebody was dedicated enough. So let's try to not make a big deal out of it. I mean, that's what some of the people with malicious intentions want, right? A lot of the times they just want a reaction. They want people to get their jimmies rustled. So it's like, yeah, you doxed me, woohoo. But I'm saying this as a guide, you know? It's so different when poor girls online get tracked down and doxed and they try to show up where they live and they start acting all stalker-like. Like, that fucking sucks, man. And I mean, it happens to guys as well, but most definitely not in the same way, so I can't even begin to compare myself to some of the situations that have happened before with female streamers or content creators. I mean, since we're on the topic, I mean, I guess the most recent case would be Amaranth. I don't know if she's faking it or not. Some people would probably call me a dickhead for just questioning it, but you gotta be really skeptical on the internet. Like, nothing against her, but it has happened before, you know? With other things. So, But yeah, I have a great deal of respect for female streamers who, oh my god, this is the laggiest of stages because of the rain effect. The other day I was watching the bot for when we did the missions on this stage, and it kept slowing down so much because of the freaking rain. I mean, the computer was getting kind of heated, so that was part of why it looked so choppy. But it was most definitely prevalent on this stage instead of the other ones. Like even the music like cuts off and everything because it's trying so hard to run it. But yeah, I was saying that I have a great deal of respect for female content creators. I should just say women content creators. I don't know, that sounds strange. Because some people take offense to calling women females or female something because, I don't know, it sounds dehumanizing or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it. I'm not much of a socio-political activist or anything like that. Not because I don't care, but because the types of problems that we have in my country, even though they share some similarities, it's not exactly the same. So sorry if I don't worry about US politics or anything like that. It's because I have my own mess to deal with here. And I mean, I was just talking about women, not really anything like specific to a country. But I don't know, I mean, the language barrier, it also makes like problems like that either non-existent or different. Like, we don't use the word females here for women. Nadie dice, well, nobody says like hembra. If they do, like, it's obvious that they're being very sexist, like they're doing it to be diminishing. But I don't know, we say mujeres or something like more standard. So yeah, we don't have the female name calling like that. I'm not sure why I'm saying these things, like I'm trying to excuse myself like I have done something wrong. This is like almost like an apology video or something. But I just wanted to say that I also respect sex workers. I think it's media that a lot of people consume. So if you have something against it and you like adult content, you're probably a hypocrite if you have something against, well, not just women, but people in general working in the sex industry. So just wanted to let that clear. I want all type of people to feel included in my streams. Like, I don't discriminate people too much. I like how I had to add too much because it's not like I can say that I'm perfect, like, oh, I agree with the views of everybody, they can do whatever they want. I mean, obviously, if you have something that it's kind of touchy and you try to bring it into my stream, I'm gonna be like, whoa there, pal, maybe don't talk about those sorts of things. And they might get offended because they feel like they're being alienated or censored. So I don't know, maybe it could happen, but I try to make it not happen, you know? So whoever you are, as long as you're respectful of others in my stream, I mean, you can stay. I have no problem with that. The only group of people that I might have a bit of a beef with would be with people that don't enjoy tomatoes or mushrooms. Now that's when I get triggered. Like I would go full Karen mode, like why don't you like mushrooms? You're probably thinking of canned mushrooms. Or how did you make the mushrooms? Did you stir fry them? Did you just eat it like raw? Did you boil them? What did you do with the mushrooms that you didn't know how to appreciate it? What do you mean they taste like dirt? They don't taste like dirt. Oh, I was eating mushrooms as a replacement for meat. Well, maybe that's your mistake because you probably should have eaten the mushrooms as mushrooms and not try to pass it up as something that they are not. You know, that's when I get angry. People who don't like tomatoes, I guess I'm a little bit more understanding. But I think that's just because they don't know how to prepare it in a way that they can enjoy it in. I mean, if you're allergic or something like that, obviously you're like excused. But if you tell me like, oh, they are just too bitter. Well, remove the green part, like the little seeds. You can remove that and it'll be much better. Maybe that's your real, what your real issue with the mushrooms, with the tomato is. Or maybe they'll say like, oh, it's just not meat. Well, you can have it alongside meat and it most times it enhances the flavor. Have you ever had a really good chicken with tomatoes? Or fish and tomato with tomato slices? What about a really good tomato soup? What about what is this called? I mean, in my country, in Latin America in general, we call it Aztec soup. It's basically a tomato soup, but very premium. It has avocado, tortilla chips, sour cream, some bacon. It's really good. It's one of my favorite things to eat. What about tomato with your spaghetti? Do you eat spaghetti without tomato sauce? I mean, I guess you can do it. You can do butter-based sauces or bechamel sauce. But I mean, tomato is the superior option in my opinion. It's so versatile. You can do so much with tomatoes. But yet people hate it so much. I guess it could be one of those things in which they were forced to eat it when they were young. Because since it's a vegetable, even though it's a fruit, but I mean most people treat it as a vegetable. Since it's a fruit, mothers are gonna be trying to force their kids to eat it because it's somewhat healthy. So maybe they just got a resentment for it. I don't know. Obviously it's acceptable if you just don't like them, you can say that. But I will give you the stink eye for life. Because it's one of my favorite things. Like my brother doesn't like cucumbers, but he likes pickles. He kind of likes pickles. I mean, he tolerates them, but he doesn't like cucumber at all, so I also get kind of triggered with that. I mean, obviously it's all in good fun, I guess, but I don't know, I'm bound to get more oh my god, not the ball. I'm bound to get more exasperated with things like that instead of, I don't know, socio-political issues. Because I really don't go near that. It's always very problematic when you say anything, no matter what. So, I just keep it to myself. And if there is a time to take action, I do it. But why fight on the internet with people over it? I just don't get it. It's more fun to fight about, I don't know, what your favorite cartoon crush is, or what your favorite OTP is, your favorite foods, all of that, because it's more lighthearted. I mean, it can get kind of intense at times, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're fighting over unimportant things, so it's just for the fun of it for the most time. I'm not gonna upgrade my gear yet because I don't think we're gonna make it past 150, so maybe we will, but I'll hang on to it. Oh, we're definitely gonna go over. Yeah, let's activate it. Just as I get hit by a robot. What's another thing I get heated about? I guess video games. Getting heated over video games or movies, it's also mostly harmless. I mean, you shouldn't really fight about anything if you want more mental peace. But if you're gonna fight about something, at least try to make it harmless. Gonna go in the center, just try to get them all greens. Like, it almost reminds me of when you would go to recess and you would fight with your friends over like, no, this is the best Power Ranger because of this and this, or no, this is the best Naruto's stronger than Goku because of this and this, and the other guy is like, obviously he's not, Goku can destroy planets. Like, that's the kind of fighting that I like to do. Mostly for fun. After this cup, I'm gonna display, well, this Grand Prix is not really a cup. After this Grand Prix, I'm gonna be showing off Supersonic, and maybe that'll be it for the night. Maybe I'll do the Heroes Cup once more because I don't like doing the Babylon Grand Prix because I feel you get less rings, the stages are more obnoxious, and the frame rate is worse because of all the rain effects and all of that. Speaking of rain, it's raining over here. Oh, there's a 100 here. Let's try to get it. Yeah! Oh, that was absolutely perfect. That one is a pain to get sometimes. I just got lucky. Jesus, that boat scared me. Oh, speaking of scary games, since I started this channel by playing Hollow Cure and Scratchy Melody, which are itch.io games, I was hoping to play some scary games that some VTubers play. I've just seen clips of it, so maybe I'm a little bit spoiled on it, but trust me, it's not gonna affect how scared I'm gonna be of them. I got scared by playing Wario Days. Like, that's how much of a puss I am when it comes to scary games. So I feel it will be pretty fun to watch. Maybe one day when my friends can watch along. I mean, they don't have to stay. I really don't want them to feel like they have to watch me if they are busy doing something else. Not even if they are busy, if they just rather watch something else, if they just want to chill. Like, you don't have to watch me. I really don't want that pressure to reach anybody. Either if you are a casual viewer or my most... Oh, sorry, I was burping. My most loyal friend. don't worry about it. I know how that feels. Like, it's nice if you show up, but don't force yourself to do it. Man, fuck the rain effect. Look at how slow this is running. Maybe we'll get 250. It's looking pretty promising. Usually, if I do want my friends to show up, it would be for the bigger streams. Like the tier list one that I made. I really wanted public input on that one. And I really want public input when we react to scary videos and when we react to my favorite YouTube videos or just like nostalgia videos. I'm working on the playlist of that. It's a little hard to do because I don't know what's appropriate or not to show. But whoa, we're almost to 250. Just 5 more. We should get it on the tunnel. There we go. Ah, satisfying when you get the 250. Oh yeah, I need to show the bicycle. Oh my god! Please don't, please don't. Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness I didn't fucking die. I would have lost all of the rings. So yeah, we'll repeat the Heroes Cup with the hang-on bicycle. Motorcycle, I should say. And also show Supersonic. Ooh. Oh, I wanted to talk. I mean, I didn't want to talk about it. I just ran out of things to talk about, so I'm gonna talk about this, I guess. I wanted to talk about a little bit about my mascot. Maybe one day I'll have an art stream. Don't expect it to be anything good. It'll mostly be for the fun of it because I'm really not an artist. I heard a weird sound, I'm sorry. So yeah, I made my mascot, the one that you're seeing on the screen right now, the little bunny. I based it off of things that I enjoy. One of them would be, well, cartoon bunnies. I really like cartoon bunnies. It's also based on Terriermon and Gargomon from Digimon. You probably saw it on the third part of Digimon Tamers. The one with the floppy ears that looks like a rabbit Digimon. It was also based off it was based off of something else. I don't remember what. Well, you can see that it has like a light white, no, light blue and white aesthetic with some blue highlights and some black. I think that's a really good aesthetic, and I wanted to incorporate it into my brand. My name is Milkthrow, right? And I think the white looks pretty good for a milk brand, even though I'm not really a brand, but like being recognized, you know, like a logo, like an identity. I really think it goes well. Now, if you're wondering why I'm called Milkthrow and I have a bunny, like, wouldn't it make more sense to, I don't know, have like a cow or something like that? Maybe you're right, but I've seen a lot of early concepts of good ideas start as bunnies. as rabbits because the general public likes it so much. They like animated rabbits. It happened with Splatoon. At the beginning there were a bunch of bunnies that shot out ink, and then they kind of said like, this doesn't make any sense conceptually, so they changed it into squids. And also with the Loud House, which is maybe a bit of a problematic show or whatever, but you can discuss its success. It started as little bunnies. Also, The Simpsons. Before Matt Groening designed The Simpsons, he was making his Life in Hell comics, and they were little bunny characters. So I don't know, I just see them everywhere on concept art. So I went with the bunny aesthetic. Let's show off Supersonic. I'm not gonna be doing a whole cup with him because he's a pain in the ass to use. As you can see, we have 2 ring capacity ups and a magnetic barrier. We wanna get the barrier as soon as possible. And in most cases, Supersonic is a little bit of an easy mode, a prize that you get for doing something perfect. In my case, doing all of the missions with the highest rank. But in this particular game, also it changes the Sonic animations a little. In this particular game, Supersonic is the hard mode, and you can't use any gravity without using rings, and he uses them extremely fast. So you want to get as many rings as you can in this stage and get that magnetic field like ASAP. Did you see how fast those went? That was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so now we have the magnetic ring. Oh my god, that was a lightning just outside. Sorry, I got a little distracted. That was scary. Anyways, we have the magnetic shield. So we're gonna try to increase our ring capacity to the max. There we go. If we run out of rings, we run out of a super form, and we have to walk. And even when we have our super form, we are not really the fastest around. Our top speed is 180, and that's not even as fast as you can go with the punching power up. So this is pretty useless. I mean, if you go in a straight line, you're gonna catch up to them, maybe even go a little faster. And also, Supersonic is typeless. He can't use any of the shortcuts except for the power-based ones, like the one I just took. And that's only when you're doing the dash with the light blue aura. So it's pretty hard to pull off. There we go. Now we are a power type. But if we go back to walking or just using the skate, the hoverboard, we are typeless. And look, it's consuming our rings so freaking quickly. He is literally unusable. And I think that's kind of funny. It's kind of a practical joke. Like, here you have Supersonic. He's the worst character in the game. I feel like it would be balanced if you could use the special shortcuts that you can only get when you get the attack power up. I feel like then Supersonic would be more balanced. Oh my god, not my rings. I'm gonna try to use this. I think we're barely going to be winning. Oh, hurry up, Supersonic, you slow ass. There we go. Almost impossible. This is the best stage to use him because it's the most rings that you can get in a stage. And even then it's a hassle. Oh my god, not again. Just for the fun of it, I'm gonna try to not get any rings, to just do a running section. Look, the fastest we are going with Sonic is 150. If we get to our perfect supersonic form with the dash and everything, we go up to 180. It's not even that much of a difference. It must be an inside joke, right? Like it must be a joke character. Look, we're running on the water just like in The Incredibles. Let's try to take the air right. No, we can't. This is the lamest that Supersonic has ever been. Let's try to go here, even though we can't. Oh, we can! I never knew that! Just as I was saying that I thought it would be balanced if he did. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, I guess I never stayed in regular Sonic form when I tried to use Supersonic, because it makes no sense to me. Let's try to see if we can get any other special shortcuts. I mean, it's not like it's the biggest improvement in the history of ever, but oh, look, this is the worst part. If you get the power up to do it, you can't even use the shortcuts. It just gives you a dash. It's so nonsensical. Careful, Sonic, let's try to get this. Let's see if we can. Wow, I never knew that. We are learning new things every day. Let's try to go here. Let's grind. No, we can't even jump. We can't even try to use gravity because we don't have any rings. Oh, Supersonic, you just suck so much. Alright, let's do... Oh my god! That lightning was scary. Let's repeat the Heroes Cup once more and use the hang on. But who should we use? We should use Eggman. Oh my god, his dash is terrible, so... let's just use Shadow. He likes motorcycles after all. Oh, get ready to be very annoyed by the background music. I think it's kind of okay, but my god, is it invasive. This is pretty fast for a motorcycle. I'm just letting you listen to the music. You know what? You know what the reward is gonna be when we get 100 rings? Changing the song. So yeah, my mentally unwell person used this vehicle with this couple of songs for 100 laps back when I was in high school. And it was an extremely good experience for me, but I really questioned my own mental health. I've always questioned it. I'm just a freaking weirdo sometimes. But hey, people have done similar before. I feel like this track in particular is a lot less invasive than the other one, but the other one is more intense. Oh my god, stop with the freaking lightning. Hey, check this out. Oh, I thought I could jump down. So now that you have kind of listened to the tracks, I'm gonna resume to talking again. And I just wanted to say that even though I'm not the most anime watching person, I'm kind of in the mood to rewatch some of the past anime that I've watched. I want to rewatch an anime called Watamote, or the translated version being It's Not My Fault That I'm Not Popular. Jesus Christ. Stop with that. I wonder if that's gonna mess with the stream. Hopefully not. Man, the whole ground is shaking. Wait. Yeah, our freaking car alarm went off. That was such a loud thunder. I'm just gonna let my brother deal with that. Hopefully he's awake. Sorry, I got kind of angry because I don't want to deal with the freaking car alarm. Yeah, I wanted to rewatch some older anime. Man, can you guys listen to that? Jesus. I might need to stop the stream. Anyways, I wanted to rewatch some anime, even though I'm not the most anime watching person. I wanted to rewatch Watamote, and I wanted to rewatch Ore Monogatari, which the translated version would be My Love Story. It's a romance anime, but it's pretty different from your usual type of romance anime, because in usual romance anime they play the long game and they are like, oh my god, are they gonna get together or are they not? Does she like me or does she not? Maybe I like somebody else. Like all of that shit. And I find it so boring. But this anime in particular, the relationship gets started in like the first 3 episodes. So we start to see the gradual romance of it all. And it's this very big buff guy and this little dainty little lady. And you might think that, oh, it's like stereotypical because it's the big strong guy with the frail lady. And if you want to look at it that way, I guess you could. But their personalities are so... I don't know how to say it. I mean, the strong guy is super extra, but he's also very emotional, very melancholic. So he deals a lot into introspection. Like, he has a very strong sense of justice, but he's also pretty bummed out because girls don't like him because they like his best friend. His best friend is like this stereotypically handsome guy, like a BTS member or something like that, just super frail and cute. And meanwhile, he's this big fucking tank of a person. He's extremely tall, super muscly, thick eyebrows, like a military cut. So a lot of the girls are afraid of him because he's a high schooler. But this dainty little girl takes a legit interest in him. So he's experimenting love for the first time. I don't know, it's pretty cool. Oh my god, that was... ¿Se abrió? Wait, hold on a moment. I'm gonna mute this. So this is freaking crazy. Everything outside my house is completely darkened, black and white. Not black and white, just a blackout, I should say. So let's try to finish this race as quick as possible and just end the stream, because this thunderstorm is not messing around. So yeah, let's just speedrun. That's a good speedrun. No more ring collecting, just going as fast as we can. Meanwhile, I'll try to talk about anime. Now, if you're wondering about the other anime that I want to rewatch, Watamote, that one is a lot more... I mean, it's a comedy, but it gets kind of real in a way. It's about this girl that is completely socially inept. And she's... Okay, so you definitely heard that one. And I almost shot my pants. I think... Nah, this is too crazy, man. I think I'm gonna stop the stream. See y'all later. Bye bye. This is insane.